Hi, Advocate Abhay.
Hi. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Sir, recently the Allahabad High Court, in its judgment, has extended support to homosexual couples. What is this entire judgment all about, sir, and how does this affect the rights of homosexual couples in India?
In this judgment, I'll address first this judgment. In this judgment, the Sultan Mirza approached the Honorable High Court of Allahabad with prayer that she should be allowed to continue her job. And Allahabad High Court, considering all the aspects of the recent judgments by Supreme Court and other courts, allowed that petition. But I would say this is the natural progression of the judgment in AK, which started from the judgment passed by the Honorable Supreme Court in the matter of National Legal Services Authority, wherein the Supreme Court the idea of universal human rights. Human rights, as we know, goes to in all aspects of life and doesn't differentiate between the genders and the professions, color, caste, creed, anything. Right. After that judgment, the landmark judgment came. First, it came from the Delhi High Court, where they decriminalized the 377 IPC, where homosexuality was under that section was a criminal offense. Thereafter, after back and forth judgments, finally in the matter of Navtej Singh Johar, Honorable Supreme Court decriminalized the homosexual this section 377 of IPC, right? And thereafter, this Odisha High Court in one judgment allowed the same-sex partners to live together, right? Because in that matter, the lady was snatched away by her family from her same-sex partner. Honorable High Court of Odisha stated that they did restored that them together, and said this is an entirely illegal matter. They cannot be separated.
Right,
now this Allahabad High Court is just a natural progression of that thing. See, one thing one has to realize that laws are not the dead letters. They apply to human beings and affect the human lives, right? This 377 was relic of colonial past, which and the cultural parameters pervaded during the Victorian time, right? That continued and continued despite the fact that there was opposition to that act. Even in the Britain itself, the homosexuality has been decriminalized, and you can't realize what kind of loss we have suffered because of this act, this section 377.
Absolutely.
Even in England, this law has caused at least 40,000 punishments during the 100 years of this application. And there is one case of mathematician who broke the Enigma code of Nazi Germany, Alan Turing, right? He lost his job. He faced discrimination in the society. He was punished. He pleaded guilty and had to go the chemical castration, right? And unfortunately, within 1 year of his punishment, he committed suicide.
Right,
See, the sexual preference or orientation is a very personal matter, right? There should any law that prevents that basically denies a human right, a right to a person to choose the basic requirement of life, right? And people can have different preferences, and it is not something which is unknown thing in our own cultural narrative. We find so many characters who had been called queer or homosexual to some extent. and we
Right.
know the most famous is Sikhandi, right? In Mahabharata, and even the Arjun became you can call as homosexual for a year, right? So this is something we has inherited from the colonial past, and that needed to go. Now it is not just the denouncing of an act is enough. The Supreme Court denounced this 377, and it was repealed. Thereafter it stopped to there, but it did not stop to there. The governments also adopted policies where the discrimination which was there initially against the homosexual or same persons having same-sex preferences, their now name got added in the name of preferences, where you filed where when you write down your gender, and third gender is also got recognition. But it but even then, even that was not enough. Now the courts have become quite sensitive, and the Allahabad High Court has by this judgment established that we are moving towards a positive towards positive direction. We are moving towards a society where we can hope that there will be no discrimination on any ground, including the caste, creed, color, and this sexual orientation. Right. This will
Absolutely, sir.
this will go in long way, and this is now an starting point. We have just It has almost just 2 years when we got 377 decriminalized. Right. Judges are also learning. See, we can't say the judges come from the some other strata of society. They come from this society where we and everybody lives and behaves and acts, and we uh, ingrained only those thought processes that is spread around. And in this way, the courts are really judges are playing very important role. And this judgment passed by Honorable Justice Shashikant and Honorable Justice Pankaj Bhatia will be a groundbreaking judgment. It will go long way to help the persons to come out of the cover, and to assert their themselves, and to live in society with confidence. They will not have to hide themselves. They will not have to just remain under the radar of these social of the leaders of the society, or cultural torch bearers, right?
Right, sir. Absolutely.
Moreover, courts have also, except by this judgment, it has been ascertained that norms of the society change over the period. You can't say that one thing which was bad once upon a time was considered bad for one of a time was actually bad, right? You have to move. We have to move towards a scientific society. You have to move where the people will be allowed to live their life as they want. They won't, and the society where they'll not be judged by these things, rather than being judged by their um, acts and actions that they prefer to perform in life. And everybody who can contribute to the society will be able to contribute without this kind of fear, where he will be just cast outside of society because of his sexual preference, because whom he want to live with. Right. It is entirely the person's choice. If you
Right,
want to
sir.
live with A, B, C, anybody else, nobody nobody has right to interfere in that choice of that person. And that is the what has been asserted. See, what when we say the human rights, what we understand by that human rights is that, yes, that if I want to live in particular manner which doesn't affect the in negative manner the society, then I'm free to live in that manner, and nobody will be allowed to stop me from that manner. And I will not be tried in law for my preferences, which are strictly personal in nature.
Right.
Right. So we are just learning. We are just learning. We are growing. We are growing as a society.
Right,
Every
sir.
society has gone through that. If they see the developed countries that we see today, and we praise a lot, they have their own past, they have own dark past, and they have gone through this test by fire. They have learned. We are also learning, right? So I hope that there will be more judgments. There will be more judgments that will allow the person the ease life, and not nobody will be discriminated on the basis of choice. I'll stop with that and hope for the better in future. Thank
Absolutely,
you.
sir. That's very enriching. Thank you so very much for your insights, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.